Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense. That's right, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense. In this episode, we're going to be talking about flat Earth and the theories and conspiracies around it and what we think about it, as well as the current events that are currently going on. So, from my understanding, I watched some videos, and that shut my brain off a couple times, but I worked through it. I guess there are like two separate camps, could be more, of flat earthers. There's the ones that believe that the Earth is flat and we live in a dome, and we're in the center of the universe, and the sun and the moon are actually inside the dome with us, and they circle the upper troposphere of the dome and are like a spotlight. And there's another camp that think that the ice wall, which would be Antarctica, you know, that giant spot at the bottom of the Earth that you can sail around, on the outside of the Earth wall or ice wall, there's more land and more land. So those are the two major theories. Kevin, about how long do you think, like when do you think that humans actually discovered that the Earth wasn't flat?
Oh, I think it was, what was it? One of the major scholars. I don't know if it's Socrates or Plato or who, but it was a while ago that.
Yeah, it was in the 600 BC era. I'm not sure who it was, but.
So it was around 600 BC. Basically, they used calculations based on the sun's rise and fall, shadows. You can kind of tell when a ship goes sailing and all of a sudden it just disappears. That kind of says there's a curvature. I mean, it's
Whoa. You said the ship just disappears. Does it just disappear because it fell off the edge of the Earth? Or are you saying it disappears from the bottom up?
From the bottom up.
I'm just saying there's a distinction. You can't leave the door
sail
open to
off
these
the
people,
edge of the
Kevin.
Earth because they came back. What, they fall
Maybe they
off?
still back up the giant waterfall. You don't know.
Maybe they just like orbited the flatness and came back around in the same area. I don't know. Basically, once people were able to, I don't know, do math and look at shit reasonably, that's when they figured out that the Earth was round and not flat.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting how they figured it out. Like, I'm not exactly sure how. I know it had to do with, like, they figured out the angle that the sun cast using shadows, and then they calculated something to do, like, the distance between two. This isn't really like how they proved that. It was the way the shadow fell that made them think that the Earth was round. But they actually kind of figured out in pretty decent accuracy the circumference of the Earth, because they measured the distance between two towns, and then that distance was based on the shadows and the rise and fall of the sun and stuff that is way above my brain grade.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure if somebody, like, if I was back then, somebody told me, like, the Earth was flat and, like, that was a common thing, and I would be like, all right. I'm like, then somebody goes, hey, no, what's wrong? I'm like, you're a moron. But I mean,
The Earth is flat, you dummy! Heretic!
don't you know nothing? Because I don't know. We didn't, especially back then when you don't have proof like photographs and space. You can watch a space shuttle launch, and you can obviously see the Earth being round and satellites and all that shit. So then. Back then, I mean, they had to use pure math, and I'm not even sure if, like, 3/4 of the population back then even knew what math was. So.
No, most of them probably couldn't even read.
No, so if you can't read, you're probably not going to be able to do very good math. Me no math.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I mean,
or English.
Well, yeah, they didn't speak English back. Well, over there anyway.
Or language, I guess.
Well, the whole thing behind like flat Earth, like they say that the Earth is flat because you can only trust the theory behind it is, and this might have been the that started with Samuel Botham, whatever his name is, but basically
Rothbotham. That's a funny name.
Rothbotham. Yeah, it was an Englishman. In fact, the resurgence, once people were convinced that the Earth was in fact round, came from two separate English people in the 1800s. But I don't know if it was him, but I do know that today they justify their belief in flat Earth based on sensory perception. So like, oh, I see that way, and it's flat, and this is flat, and like the way you still have to twist it in your head to make that work, because you can see, you can tell the Earth is round even when you look around. I mean, that's why I can't see. You can't, like, theoretically, if the Earth was flat, I should be able to see the Rocky Mountains on a clear day. I can't. I can just see a line where the horizon drops off, because I think the human eye, and this could be total bullshit.
That's usually what we argue with.
I think the human eye can, like, I think you can only see 11 miles. Like if you're flat, like if you're standing on a flat part of Earth, you can only see like 11 miles before the curvature starts dropping off. I think I heard that somewhere. I could be right, could be wrong. But 11 seems to stick in my head. But I think that's a thing. Could be.
I think you're right.
So, I don't know. If I'm wrong, comment below. If I'm right,
or don't.
Comment below and tell me I'm awesome. Because you should always like, comment, subscribe, follow, bell, retweet,
Ding.
all the dumb stuff everyone says.
Also social media stuff.
Yeah, all the
Follow,
social media garbage.
Subscribe, or any podcast or whatever.
Yeah,
let's get back to it.
Review 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars only.
So we brought up Samuel Rothenbotham. I do know. Well, I don't know. I read that he was a college dropout, but he was really good at making intellectuals at the time look stupid, even if he was arguing for flat Earth. Do you think that he was actually like believed in flat Earth and like, yeah, this is a thing, or do you think he was basically that era's first troll?
I think it's probably, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy, but he was probably a troll that just liked making people look stupid. He was probably a really good debater. Probably knew enough about, he probably just picked a subject that he knew no one else would follow him on. And he's like, nope, I'm going to make these people look stupid by not really giving facts, but just arguing well. Just arguing enough to where, like, and this is the thing like flat earthers do, is they'll constantly move the goalposts back and back and back to fit their narrative. So anybody that can debate well enough can move the goalpost back far enough to where a person can be like, okay, yeah, I guess there's a slim chance that could be true, to where that's when they got you. You give them that one sliver that's saying that, yes, possibly that could be true. And that will cement their case to where they think, yeah, I'm right. So as long as you can debate well enough and move the goalpost far back, back far enough, you're going to win an argument.
Well, it's kind of what they're known for, because what they do is they throw out these like outlandish, like hard to prove, like, well, this is this, and you need to, and then the burden of proof is on you to prove that their stupid theory is false.
Well, I tell you what, when you constantly say, no, this is deep fake or this is faked, no matter how many, like, how many pictures, how many live videos we can do, it's always some kind of deep fake video or something. I mean, that's every time. So how do you argue something when somebody believes that you're never seeing the truth?
Well, and that's what these people are saying. Like the ones that believe in the ice wall and they're doing it. They're keeping us inside the ice wall because human beings want land. And there's more land beyond the ice wall. And beyond that land is another ice wall. And beyond that ice wall is more land. And that's why they're keeping us in here.
How big is this place?
It's huge, Kevin. Jupiter,
is it the
huge.
whole universe? Because I don't get how. Here's what I don't get. So if the Earth was flat, right?
Yeah.
Do they just not believe in gravity? Is gravity not a thing?
Oh, no, there's an explanation for that.
Because if there's gravity, everything would fall towards the center of the Earth.
That is false, Kevin.
That's how gravity would work. No, that's how gravity would work. That's how the atmosphere would work. The atmosphere would all be sucked towards the middle because that's just how it is. That's how gravity works. So everybody on the outside would be dead because they wouldn't have enough oxygen to survive.
Are you done yet?
Yes, because...
Would you like me to explain to you how there is gravity
to hear this explanation
on a flat Earth? Okay.
Yes, because it's impossible.
Okay, for one thing, the atmosphere isn't going anywhere because we're living in a dome. And the reason why we have gravity is because we are constantly slightly speeding up. So we're at a constant acceleration. And that constant acceleration, or would be like inertia, is what's holding you to the ground. Kind of like when you're constantly, when you're accelerating a car, you can feel that force holding you to the seat. That's what's causing gravity, Kevin. I can't believe you.
So hold on.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb.
Hold on. What is this dome made out of?
Polycarbonate? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Do they have an explanation for a dome?
No. I don't know. It's made out of...
And here's another thing. How do satellites work?
They just so when a plane...
Because something can't stay in one spot. It has to rotate for it to fucking not fall towards the Earth because gravity pulls everything in. The Earth, or flat or a sphere, would pull shit in. That's what gravity is.
Kevin, I feel like you're not...
So if it's just sitting there, it has to orbit.
I feel like you're not grasping the dome idea. I feel like you're not grasping it. It's made out of...
I'm not grasping it.
It's made out of refined stardust. Kind of like sand in a glass, but it's stars.
I did not... okay.
I'm pretty sure that's it. And in flat Earth, when the plane, like when you're in a plane or like one of these fake holographic spaceships that we think are going out into space, and they think they're flying across the globe, they're not, Kevin. They're flying actually in a very large circle, but it's so large that they don't actually know they're flying in a circle.
So the pilots are so fucking stupid that they don't know they're slightly turning the whole time?
It's ocular manipulation.
Who's manipulating them?
I don't know. Radio waves. I don't know.
So it's either all pilots who fly internationally are in on this big conspiracy, or
no, it's built into the radar. They don't know they're doing it, Kevin.
What? Who's building these radars that are protecting this secret, and why? Why are they doing this? That's right. That's the biggest thing about this whole flat Earth thing I don't get is why. Why would they just not tell us? What are we going to do about it? Leave? I mean,
they're protecting the land outside the ice wall. Why is this so hard for you to understand?
Who's going to travel beyond the ice?
Nobody, because we can't.
There.
And if you make it to the ice wall and come back, and you're like, yes, it is Antarctica. It is a continent on the southern pole of the world. It's because you were brainwashed by NASA.
But, I mean, if somebody tomorrow absolutely confirmed it was flat, and every government was like, yes, the Earth is flat, what am I going to do? I can't leave. I just got to accept the fact that it's flat. I mean, I don't understand why this is even a conspiracy. I can't just jump over to Mars.
They want to make it. People want to make it to the outside ring of land.
What if there's no? What if they say that's the end?
They'd be lying. Just like if
well, what's a bigger lie? That the Earth is spherical, or that the ice wall is the end of the Earth?
No, Kevin. The Earth being spherical is the conspiracy theory. The Earth being flat is the truth. And by the way, if the government came out and told me tomorrow, if the government came out and told me tomorrow that the Earth was flat, I would know for a fact that the Earth was round.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I can't trust government. So maybe I don't. So here's another thing I have. So they think it's like the sun's what 3,000 miles above the Earth or something, and it's in the dome, and it just rotates around. And so if you experience nighttime, then you've witnessed proof that the Earth isn't flat. So the flat earthers say the sun is 32 miles wide, or about the diameter of the city of Houston, and they argue that the sun rides around in the Earth about 3,000 miles above the Earth. If this were the case, the sun would never set because the Earth is supposedly flat. There would be nothing for the sun to set below, right? So it's just constantly rotating around this flat Earth. If it were to travel along such an arc, even in the dead of winter, the sun would never drop below 14.7 degrees at that altitude or 14.7 degrees altitude in Washington, D.C. That's about the same height as the sun around 7 p.m. on a July evening. So it's still there.
Now that you're done rambling and trying to disprove flat Earth, let me explain something to you. That is exactly how big the sun is. That is the exact altitude the sun is. But the sun isn't like a light bulb that like, ooh, look, there's light going out everywhere. It's a giant spotlight, Kevin. That's how you have day and night, because there's a beam of light that shines down on the day parts. And as it rotates, it makes night parts. Why is this so hard for you to understand?
Well, I don't know what that means. That doesn't mean anything.
No, it's a spotlight.
But it gives off heat. So it's like a...
No, it's like an LED.
So is there a heater too?
With what do you call that?
Because if you step out in the sun compared to shade, it's obviously hotter.
Well, no, it's temperature controlled. Maybe we have a little more in right now
this?
Because the temperature control. Yeah, okay. So obviously we're not going to agree on this.
Who's controlling it though? That's what I don't get.
I don't know. That leads me into my next question. Okay, so in your opinion, okay, let's say the Earth was flat. Okay, I think now you can offer up any explanation. Now you have to put your mindset in that the Earth is flat. Okay, or this question is going to be dumb.
Here it is. I'm going to take off my smart cap, put on my big dummy hat.
All right, so you got it on. It's tight, snug.
Tight. It's as snug as it can get.
So here are my so if the Earth really was flat, I think it leads to one of three explanations.
I don't have enough beer in my
agree,
fridge.
Disagree, or you can add to it.
I'm a flat earther right now, right?
You're a flat earther right now. But if the Earth was flat, I came up with three explanations.
Well,
you tell me what you think about them.
Well, all shucks, brother. It is flat, you big dummy.
All right. So, scenario one. We are living on a previously made space station. By who, I don't know. Scenario two. We are living in an enclosure, i.e. the dome. Which is kind of like the space station, but we're actually living like in an enclosure. Because there are some people that don't think there's a dome. Okay, which was either made by God and or a level 4 or 5 civilization. Throwback to the aliens. And for study and or entertainment. Or 3, we're living in a computer simulation and there is no Earth. We're just ones and zeros.
You know,
That's if the Earth was actually flat, and it was true. Those are the only 3 logical scenarios I could come up with.
Have you ever seen the Orville, the show?
Yes.
Did you see the one where they went to a big ass spaceship and it was like a enclosed like living environment?
I probably have. I haven't seen it in a while since they got canceled, and I guess they're going to get picked up by Hulu or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
So
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I just went through a while ago. So there's one where this whole civilization, their planet was destroyed. So what they did was they made this giant ark, and it was like this huge spaceship, and now they pretty much put their part of their home world, where their main city and stuff, and some of the farmland around. We kind of put that inside the spaceship. Then the people, like anybody who knew anything about the spaceship, died, So everybody just thought that was their world until, they opened up the spaceship because they never experienced night before until they turned off the sun.
So they were living in
just
perpetual daylight?
Perpetual daylight. And then all of a sudden they turned off the dome or the spotlight or whatever it was and opened up like the sunroof to where they could see stars and they're like, oh my God, blew everybody's mind. But maybe that's it. Maybe we're just maybe we are on a giant space station. We're just too stupid to figure it out.
And I would
But
almost
technically,
think...
anything driving through space, anything floating through space is technically a space station.
Well, yeah, technically Earth itself is a space
spherical
station.
or flat would be a space station.
Yeah. I could see that, but instead of having a sun and moon, which seems super stupid, inside the dome with us, maybe the dome is just a big, LED panel. Huh?
Oh, you mean they're just but when did you see the pixels go out? Eventually, I mean...
No. These are high-tech, level 4 civilization LEDs. They don't burn out.
If any of these are true, it's that we're living in a simulation, though.
I think that would be... I just can't think
Technically, we're probably just on some, MIT study, and, somebody's seeing what happens if, they made the worst people possible, and see what happens, and we're just going to be done in about 2 hours of their time.
We're like the 13th floor.
It just ends in our destruction.
Probably. We're like the 13th floor, but instead of the scientists...
That's how it always happens.
Well, instead of the scientists coming in and murdering people, they're just like, hey, let's spice things up by adding some flat earthers.
Yeah, let's really blow their minds.
And then in 2020, they're like, hey, let's really fuck shit up.
Let's tell them about aliens. So, I don't know. I tell you what, I don't know if I have enough beer in my fridge to go through this whole thing. I'd try to dumb myself down, man.
Well, I joked around some other episodes about this stuff, but when I actually started watching videos, I was like, oh my gosh.
See, I can't watch it. I tried, I think I watched one, and everything they did failed.
Was that the Netflix one?
Yeah.
Where all their experiments to prove that the Earth was flat just proved that the Earth was round?
Yeah.
Well, I did see one too.
Oh, but they're always like, oh, we must have messed that up somehow.
Well, and that one guy in a video I watched that he was saying, there's something in the North Pole that, there's something up there that makes compasses point to the north. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's the magnetic. It's called the magnetic sphere. That's where the magnetic field comes out. Yeah. The big dummy.
It's the negative and positive part of the magnetic field. You jackass. Yeah. I don't know.
There's no Earth core. I don't understand. So you said, do you have that picture that you sent me?
The one in the dome?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have it. I'll add it in post. I don't have it with me right now, but just talk about it. Talk about it, Kevin.
Post.
Picture right now.
So I see it. Okay, there it is.
Magic. So
I like how you see the Earth. It's flat. Then there's this big rocky mountain part. It's on a. It looks like it's on a asteroid, but this it's really shaved off at the top, and that's the Earth with the oceans and stuff. And there's a dome over it. Then you can see where the sun circles and the moon circles, and there's stars in the background.
Look,
so what are those
dude?
Stars?
Hey, just because we live on a flat Earth doesn't mean there's not any stars.
But are they round or flat?
No, everything else in the universe is round.
Did somebody? So everything else in the universe is round. So when you look in a telescope, and you look at Jupiter, you see the rings, you see it's round. Then you look at Mars, and you see it's round. And you can actually see stuff on the moon. And also, how come when you shoot a laser at the moon, there's actually mirrors up there that can reflect the lasers back?
What?
Yeah, they when they went on the first moon landing, they put mirrors up there.
So people could shoot their eye out with a laser? That's a dick move.
It's not like a laser. It's like a light.
I'm suing NASA.
It's not like a laser.
This is horseshit.
Yeah, but there's actually mirrors up there, so you can actually reflect lasers off of it. So
Okay.
you can actually judge how far the moon is. But, well, I'm just saying, like, all this stuff points to everything else is round. Why are we flat?
Well, that's true. That's why I did watch a video with two scientists and a jackass that were talking about how you can tell, that it's just like, they're like, I don't even know how to get in a conversation with these people because there's just so much overwhelming truth, fact, science, discovery that the earth is round and zero that the earth is flat. The one person who wasn't a scientist is Bill Nye. I'm tired of that guy he's not a scientist. He's not a doctor. The dude's a mechanical engineer that had a kid's show and walks around with a bow tie. And he's a condescending ass. I mean, we're kind of being condescending ass in this episode, but, that's fine. I'm just saying, I'm not going around saying I'm a scientist, but that's my little, I don't know. I don't like that guy. But
yeah, I'm not the fucking science guy. What I am, it's just a blue collar guy that's not. I almost dropped the word stupid.
Way to catch yourself, Kevin.
It was going to be another. Yeah, it was going to be another word.
But well, that's what I don't know. That's why I said, oh, 3 scientists, confront flat Earth, and then the first person they show is Bill Nye. I'm like, really?
He's not a. I mean, he's an engineer. He's a mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a scientist.
No, he's a professional. He's not a scientist. He's not an astrophysicist, which the other 2 people were.
No.
It's like, well, let's get 2 astrophysicists, and, well, none of the other ones wanted to talk about this stupid topic. Well, Bill Nye will do anything for money, so call him. But,
yeah, basically.
All right, so there's a growing number of people that believe the Earth is flat. Why do you think that is? And you can't say because society's becoming stupid and easily manipulated. So other than the most obvious answer, what would you say to that?
I think it's just the mistrust. People just don't trust anybody anymore. So when somebody tells somebody it's round, they're obviously going to say it's flat. Social media has a lot about this. It really got. I can't remember when some kind of rapper or something. He was big on flat Earth, so he was pretty famous, I think. So I think he got a lot of people on board because nothing like a rapper to tell me if the Earth is round or.
Yeah, I remember him saying, I'm going to use math and science and geometry to prove that the Earth is flat.
You never heard from him again, probably because he used math and geometry and science, and it proved the Earth was round. But I think a lot of social media is doing this. People's mistrust in everything. So, I mean, I think it's just people just don't like being told. There's just always going to be an opposition, no matter how hardcore the facts. You'd almost have to send them to space, and I still think they'd be like, well, yeah, it's out in space, but then they put this projector screen to where I looked out the window, and it wasn't the real.
You would have to send every single flat earther up into space because
you'd have to
what
send
they're
them
going to
into
do,
space, not just looking
because
out.
what they would do is if you went up into space and came back, all the other flat earthers that didn't go would just think that you were brainwashed by NASA.
Yeah, you're brainwashed. Yeah, so I mean, there's no winning. You can't. And this is how. I mean, it's how the world works anymore. There's no middle ground for a lot of people. It's just told one thing, it's obviously the other thing. There's no trust in anything anymore. And sometimes it's founded. Sometimes there's reason to mistrust and reason to ask questions. But if there's enough proof and evidence that you can't disprove with other than just moving your goalpost back, if you can't disprove it with facts, then, I mean, I don't even know where I was going with that. I forgot my train of thought. So, it made me dumb. I got to take my dumb hat off and put my smart helmet
You forgot to put your smart hat back on.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if your argument is constantly to move your goalposts back and not present any actual facts, you're probably wrong. If you can't argue something with actual logic and facts and scientific evidence, then you're wrong.
All right, so what would you say to someone you knew that thought the Earth was flat? Like, say, you found out one of your buddies thought the Earth was. Which I didn't think you thought. I thought that for a while, but I put on a good face.
I don't know. I just tell them they're dumb, then probably drink a beer and probably never talk about it again because I'm just going to get mad.
Stop being a dummy. Have a drink.
Yeah, basically, because I don't know. I can't. Like I said, people who believe such things, they're never going to unbelieve it. I mean, I'm not going to disprove them. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I can't. I don't know. Maybe pay for a ticket so they can go on Jeff Bezos' fucking dick ship. I don't know. I mean, that'd be the only way.
Yeah. Well, and like you can go down to Antarctica. It's expensive because it's at the, southern pole, but like people think it's one of the things they say they think it's weird is because all these governments have these like treaties signed about Antarctica. It's because nobody can sustainably live there. It's
because if you get stuck there, you know how much if you get stuck in Antarctica, you know how much it costs a country to pay to get you back home.
I know to pay to go down there is over $20,000 if you wanted to make like a trek.
Yeah,
to go there.
And basically, yeah. So, but I mean, if you get stuck there, your boat or whatever, if you get your own boat, you sail to Antarctica, you get stuck there, somebody has to come rescue you. Somebody will come rescue you because most of Americans are, for the most part, dicks. So they will come rescue you.
Other than the people that were abandoned in Afghanistan, most of the time the U.S. government does not abandon their citizens around the world.
Yeah. So they'll come get you. I mean, they might hit you with a bill, but it still costs money.
They can only charge you $2,500.
Yeah, that's the main reason that I think that they have these treaties.
Well, no, like there's a lot of science.
It's so dangerous.
There's a lot of science that goes on. Like everything that goes on in Antarctica is a lot of science. Like science studies and the fact that there's an alien base down there. I don't know if you heard that, but it's true. Aliens are in Antarctica.
Is this like
that's
Alien,
why you're not allowed there.
Predator? Have you seen Alien vs. Predator?
Yes.
Where there was a what was it? It was like a pyramid underneath Antarctica.
Yeah, but was it Antarctica? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just saying there is.
Then the aliens woke up.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on Ancient Aliens.
Then the predators came to fight them.
Yeah, and they almost lost.
There's aliens. Yeah,
that was one with the big queen.
There's a bunch of xenomorphs and
xenomorphs.
Antarctica.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw it in an episode of Ancient Aliens, but there are some people that believe that there is an alien base down there, and we're down there working with aliens. So that's why you can't go to Antarctica, not because it's a stupid ice wall. It's because of aliens.
Obviously, that's the obvious answer.
I feel like that is the most obvious, believable, and factual answer there is. I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm done talking about flat Earth. Flat Earth is dumb. If you believe the Earth is flat, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
On to current events. So I was going to play a video from a New York protest. I guess it's a pro-choice protest, but...
Yeah, let's not.
No, we're not going to play it because I don't want that crap on our show. But it was basically this lady who was wearing, like... I don't know what the hell she was wearing. It looked like a single-piece swimsuit. But she's, like, beating a baby doll on the ground and pulling at it, saying, "I'm killing the baby," and people are chanting, "Thank God for abortion" and stuff. And I didn't want that stuff. Like me and Kevin talked about it. We didn't want it on the channel.
I just want to let you know that is probably the worst demonstration you do because it's not in you at that point because you're not beating out. It's not beating inside. You it looks like you're already.
Well, no, but I mean,
you're ripping apart a baby.
Think about it though. What that one lady was doing, that's pretty much what the governor of Virginia said. That that is exactly what Schumer's bringing up to bill right now. Post-birth abortions.
There is. I don't think it's post, but it's up to birth.
Yeah, that's
up to a minute before birth.
Yeah, that's a baby. That's a baby way before that.
That's the new bill that the Democrats are putting up there. It doesn't restrict anything up till birth. It does. You don't even have to be a doctor to do an abortion. If you're underage, you don't have to tell your parents you're getting an abortion. There's a bunch of crazy shit that it doesn't restrict at all. It basically says abortion on the bill, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, okay, for one thing,
No restrictions.
some of the crap that those people in New York were chanting, and this was all going on in front of a church because, Satan.
Satan?
Yeah. The reason why I'm still not 100% sure that Roe versus Wade actually made abortion legal. Like, it really didn't have much to do with abortion, I think. I haven't read it, so I'm not going to lie. Just from what I heard.
It did. It did have section for abortion, and it said it could do it up to the third trimester, but...
Isn't the third trimester when you have the baby?
Now it's like...
There's 3 trimesters, Kevin.
Yeah, but I think it goes in thirds, so it'd be last.
Well, here's the thing.
So it'd be after 6 months.
Abortion is not, and I'm about sick and tired to hear these assholes out here saying my body, my choice bullshit after we went through a solid year of the government saying you're going to stick a vaccine in your arm and you don't have any autonomy over your body when it comes to putting an experimental vaccine in your body. But these crazy assholes can be like, my body, my choice. If I want to go around and have irresponsible, unprotected sex, because you're not all a bunch of Virgin Marys out there, or Mother Mary's just miraculously waking up pregnant, I could do whatever I want because I'm not ready to be a mom. Well, there are steps you can take to not have to have that problem. But whatever. It's not a right. Healthcare isn't a right. It's a service. Like people went to school to be trained in that field so they can administer healthcare. Hospitals build buildings, buy equipment, and build infrastructure to administer healthcare as a service. What do you do for services? You pay for them. None of that shit is a right. None of that shit's constitutional. And by them overturning Roe v. Wade, all that means is it's not a federal issue, which it's not. It goes to the states. It's not a ban on abortion. It just takes the federal government out of it, you dumbasses.
Yeah, there should be no... It shouldn't be... It shouldn't be a federal law, period. Maybe it could be. Maybe if if it goes through legislation, but it shouldn't be. It'll be
sued. Like
the Supreme Court shouldn't be like it. It should be voted on, if anything, because it should be brought to your legislators. It has to be brought through legislation, and it will be many times. I'm sure this is going to be something that goes through Congress time after time after time after time. But it should just stay at the state level, and that's the best place for it, because Mississippi is not New York. Iowa is not California. Texas is not Washington. We have different sets of values where we live, and people pick where they live on their sets of values, and that's how it should be. You don't like that you can't get an abortion in fucking Mississippi? Move to one of these fucking liberal-ass fucking states and live there. Find a job there. Jobs are plentiful. You can find a job in your field at any state you want. So, if you don't like something, leave.
Do you think
vote.
This? Granted, this is probably the worst of the worst protests. That literally, like, I made a clip. I made it short. I was going to play it for the show, and I watched it after I got done cutting it up, and I was like, I can't play this. This is making me sad. So I'm not going to make you sad by having to watch that shit. Look it up yourself.
No.
I would suggest not, though. Okay, so do these assholes really think that they're going to change somebody's mind by being like, thank God for abortion and this jackass?
The only person with mind they could change, and I don't even think Roberts I don't even know what he was going on. I can't remember if he was for or against, because Roberts is a big-ass pussy who, he worries about his reputation, even though he's at a lifelong position that he can't get kicked out of. Unless for some reason he's impeached.
Well, and the stuff he's doing only makes him look good if the left wins. Like, if the left finally gets their way, which will be the end of this country as you know it, and it will not be. If you were dumb enough to make the choice, I'm not talking about people that don't have a choice, whether it be through disability or whatever, but if you were dumb enough to make the choice to put your well-being in the hands of the government, if they get their way and all this shit goes down, your life's going to shit. The people that are relying on the government's lives are going to go to shit. And in that one case, maybe Roberts will be known for something. But right now, we're looking for a big ass correction coming. Hopefully, a lot of Americans are waking up, and he's going to go down in the history books as a jackass. The more you know.
He was a really bad judge appointment.
And a bad employee. He's a bad federal employee, Kevin.
He is.
He's a dummy.
I don't know.
What do you think about Psaki's reaction to the whole posting the SCOTUS's addresses?
I try not to be ultra mega over here.
That means you're a domestic terrorist.
I mean, these two-faced pieces of shit are this hypocritical bullshit that you see, and it does happen on both sides. I know it does. But every time I see it, it's the left. You can't call...
Yeah, not like it does on the left.
It's... Oh, my God. Just... They're bitching about, doxing, all this shit, then, January 6th, all this, trying to overthrow government, but now, hey, go ahead and go to a justice's house, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. Maybe not in theory, not in, federally, but I'm pretty sure against the, what the fuck are you doing? But
Hey, I broke the tab off. I'm trying to open my beer. This could be bad. I'm going to move my keyboard away.
What? I'm focusing on you now. I want to see if you can open it.
Oh, I'm trying to open my beer.
Right, you put yourself full screen right now because I want to...
All
right.
Got it.
We did it, America. We did
it. Apologize for the distraction.
It was super distracting because I saw you stabbing something. So, yeah.
I got my beer open now.
I'm sure it's against I think it's against Washington or wherever the hell they live. It's against their laws to be able to protest in front of a house in a residential neighborhood.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a federal law.
But when you shouldn't, there is no part of the government should call on the citizens to go to another part of the government's homes to protest or to not condemn it.
I would say the problem is now granted, the Chicago mayor, Beetlejuice or whatever her name is.
No, that's right.
She actually said it's time to pick up arms or whatever. But them saying hey, when they
Elizabeth
asked her,
Warren said we were going to fight like hell. Isn't that the words that fucking Trump used or something like that? I mean, it was eerily.
She stole that from Louder Crowder. He should sue her for that.
But I mean, I'm just saying it's the words are the same.
No, but
Psaki there are so many people that are saying call to arms, fight. We're not going to take it. We're going to stand up and fight. These are the same. This is the same rhetoric that Trump used that they were trying to get him on the January 6th panel, and they're doing it right now. I'm pretty sure it's people that are actually on this fucking panel that are saying the same shit that he did when January 6th happened, which I'm pretty sure was still staged by the goddamn FBI. But
you're just saying that because it was. No, but okay, think about it though. You got these people that are freaking out about January 6th because a bunch of citizens went to the people's house. And granted, there were some jackasses there, probably mostly FBI agents and Antifa, but whatever. That went into the building. That was stupid. If I was there, would not have been one of those people because I can see stupid from a mile away, especially on a flat earth. But that was citizens protesting to their representatives in the people's house. And they're all like, that was an insurrection and we got to throw people in jail for forever and throw away the key and make them use a dirty bucket for a toilet because they're all Satan. But their response to them releasing the addresses to these people's homes where their families and children are, where these crazy, we've already seen the kind of crazy assholes that are the pro-choice protesters, go to their house and terrorize their family. Did anybody on January 6th go to any of those assholes' houses and terrorize them and their family? No. So this technically could be considered worse. And then with the White House saying, like, well, people are upset.
Yeah, well, people,
they never condemned it.
Yeah, I know. Well, they condemned it after they got a bunch of flack about. Well, they said they still didn't condemn them going to their houses. They just said they don't condone violence and vandalism and all this crap. But they didn't actually condemn going to their house. But
which is a federal
when
crime,
you get enough
whatever.
people, there's always going to be the person like the woman ripping up a fake baby that's going to take shit a little too far, and a child could get hurt. His a justice's spouse could get hurt. I mean, it's a dangerous precedent to set that in 2 years, if something reverses to where a bunch of fucking Republicans get mad about something, all of a sudden we're going to have a fucking panel for fucking 3 years that really proves nothing, and people are going to go to jail for no reason.
Well, and like, how is so January 6th, the only person, well, I think there might have been 2 people that actually got murdered. There is a person in a tunnel outside the Capitol that there is some talk about may have been beaten to death, not by protesters. That's all I'll say about it. And then the one that everybody knows about who was shot by that Capitol policeman. But, okay, so yet again, what's worse? A bunch of people that are mad with the government stupidly protesting to the representatives in the people's house, or a Bernie supporter going to a baseball field for practice and shooting up a bunch of Republican lawmakers.
Killing one.
No, he didn't. Nobody.
I thought he got. He got shot. Yeah, that's right. Because Bernie.
Yeah, what is it? The minority whip or what? What's
yeah, I can't remember his name. Yeah, he didn't.
He was on the edge
because somebody thought
you
Bernie
tell me
was
that's not worse.
Yeah, because somebody thought Bernie would told him because I think Bernie put fight like hell or don't whatever. I can't remember exactly what Bernie said, but it was something that every politician says. That
I don't blame Bernie Sanders for one of his crazy ass supporters, but I'm just saying, like, that's pretty freaking bad. I would say that's worse than January 6th because I think all the representatives, they're like, we're representatives. Like, well, right now you're not representing the country and you're a bunch of assholes.
No, and they keep trouting out this stat that 66% of Americans agree with abortion, which I think
that's skewed.
But I mean, 66% agree within the first 15 days. Then it drops off steadily, and when you get to the third trimester, it's almost like I think it's less than 10% of people agree with abortion.
Well, and I'm still wondering,
I think
I'm wondering if there's a caveat to that.
I think like 26 days, I think it's below 50% of people agree with it. So
but like I've said, we don't have an epidemic of Mother Marys out there.
Well,
there's not a bunch of miraculous conceptions going on.
I mean, you see a lot of this, and you see a lot of people are dumb as shit, right? Like, they're just fucking stupid. So a lot of people don't know exactly what Roe versus Wade, if it was overturned, does. They just think abortion would be not legal, not anything. They don't understand that it drops the state level. Like, and the media doesn't do anything about this. And the Democrat representatives don't say anything about this. Basically, they hear little clips on TV that say, hey, abortion will be illegal once Roe versus Wade is overturned. And it won't be.
That's because people are stupid.
That's what I just said.
I was agreeing with you. People are stupid.
So, it's not the people, I don't think. It's just maybe they don't care. If you care about an issue, you're going to look it up. If you don't care and you just get called, like let's say you're a 70-year-old woman who can't have kids anymore, so, you really don't care about the issue that much, and, maybe you didn't you never really understood Roe versus Wade anyways, and, you still think it should be allowed for, rape or incest, so you're like, oh, then somebody's like, do you agree with abortion? And you're like, well, in some cases, yes. So this counted as yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, and like there's so what is it like? It's a very low. Now this doesn't. Now they say like 2% of abortions are from rape and incest.
Yeah.
That's not all like the pregnancies from rape and incest. I think there is actually a decent amount of people that unfortunately have to go through that situation and they decide to have the child.
Yeah, but I think that's
Like it's not like only 2% of the pregnancies in the country are from rape and or incest. I would think the incest.
2% are rape and incest are the ones who actually need abortions because of rape or incest. 90.
Yeah, so obviously the number of pregnancies from it are higher.
And I think less than 5%. I think it's 5% with like complications, rape, incest. All the reasons that a person should have, real reasons that people that aren't elective. So I think it's like 95% of the time it's elective because a person.
And by elective, you mean people are using abortion as a form of birth control.
Yes.
Yeah. That is and like people think they're mainstream, but I guarantee you, if there is one issue that the world looks at the United States and thinks we're disgusting human beings, it's this.
It
one.
is because Europe has way stricter abortion laws. They allow abortions, but I think it's only up to 15 weeks. Where we allow it up to like 6 months with Roe v. Wade, and right now the Democrats try to do it up to 9 months or up to birth.
Well, see, and that's what. Okay, so people need to look at this, and you can look and see what they've done with the Second Amendment too. But if you give the left an inch, they're going to take a mile. Because when they first went over this and like the, legal, safe, and the hell's the word? Not often. That's not the word. But rare.
2 week stop curve, right?
Legal, safe, and rare. That's how it started out, and now people are just using abortion as a form of birth control. So you give them an inch to take a mile. That's why people need to stop giving in to the left. Like
this
the
is
far,
why you can't trust
crazy-ass
your fucking
asshole
government at all, because if you give them an inch, and I'm guessing like even Republicans will do this. If you give them an inch,
left. Look at 2 weeks to stop the spread.
yeah.
Granted, a lot of the shutdowns were like in Democrat areas that went on for, I think some places are probably still half-ass shut down. But that still was supposed to be 2 weeks.
It went to 2 fucking years.
It went forever. Yeah, I mean, you can't.
There's still places. I saw only 8% of New Yorkers are 5 days a week at their job.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I don't think they're back to work at least in the environmental part in the state of Texas. I think they're still working from home. I think. I know I've called quite a few times about some things and no one answers the phone and nobody calls me back or answers my emails. What do you think
the building owners, all those buildings in New York they got to be taking or any company that's actually renting office space has got to be just.
Oh, New York is screwed for a long time, and they just elected a mayor who's not doing anything to make it any better.
Listen, I totally think you shouldn't work in an office. You can do your job at home. If you can do your job at home and you can do it
That's what a lot of people found out, though, and that's what really, I think, hurt these landowners, renters, leasers, or whatever, property owners in New York, is people did find out. I mean, if you're working an office job, you can do that from home.
Yeah. Why couldn't you?
I would say, like, as long as you can connect your computer at home to the company server and
you actually get your shit done.
If you go to an office and do an office job every day, you can more than likely do that.
And what they're finding out is people actually work better from home. Like, they actually get more done at home.
There's no water cooler talk at home, Kevin.
Well, I mean, there's also no endless, pointless fucking meetings. I mean, there is, but, there's...
Yeah, they are. They're on Zoom. You just mute them.
There's just a lot less.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be on a Zoom call too long, especially that CNN guy.
Got about 10 minutes in him.
How does that guy still have a job?
How did he get fired, then come back?
He didn't get fired. He just got suspended.
Yeah, did he? I think he was also commenting on some sexual fucking allegation shit from somebody else. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I just know he was on a Zoom call.
This guy should not be on TV anymore. You can't just be whacking it.
Here's what I don't understand. So you get caught on a Zoom call flogging the bishop, and then everybody finds out about it in the country, okay? And then your ass still goes on TV? How is that not like the part where you like slowly fade away into the background and become like a janitor at a Costco?
I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. That's how like detached from reality these people. No one will ever take that guy seriously again, because anytime he's on TV talking, it's like, yep, that's the guy who got caught playing with himself on a conference call.
How do you show yourself in media again? Why are you not on like Channel 6 News, fucking, I don't know, Upper North Dakota? You know?
All I can say is obviously it's a little different working in a news station than it is on a construction company, because you get caught doing something like that and say there's some kind of scheduling conference call and you get caught doing something like that and show up on site the next day. You are
down.
Never leaving that down.
Constantly for the rest of your construction career. You might even quit off of that because you're going to get so much shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they must be like, they're probably like, oh, we know you have an addiction. It wasn't your fault. You couldn't help but to do what you did. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't. People are way more forgiving because I mean, it's not like I'm not forgiving, but I wouldn't forgive that because I wouldn't be able to fucking control this. Make it
No, it's too funny.
Make fun of them.
Not even to just be like necessarily malicious about it. It's just like, it's funny. No, but like obviously you're not gonna be like nice about talking shit, but it's funny. You're gonna have to talk shit so then everybody can laugh at that person's expense. That's construction.
Yeah. So all
right, so I don't even know why the hell we're talking about the guy, but all right, so Psaki's out. I don't know her name. It's kind of French sounding.
Jean-Pierre or Jacques
got a new,
Pierre.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's like
Pierre.
a French
I think it starts with a J, like Jean or Jacques or June or.
I think it's Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, something like that. But so she's in, new press secretary. She filled in for Psaki a couple times, and I don't think she did a very good job. But I do know that during the handoff, it seemed like all Psaki could say was, like, she's the first black and outed LGBTQ, whatever the rest of the letters are, press secretary. And it's like, who gives a shit? Is she qualified for the job?
Because here's why. Here's why Psaki hasn't been qualified for the last 3 months since she's been hired by MSNBC. Because she was hired by MSNBC, which obviously is a conflict of interest. This Jean-Pierre is not qualified for a job because, weirdly, she's married to somebody on CNN. So, conflict of interest.
That and, like, there's a ton of news clips. Like, she's a major race baiter. Like, everything to her is based on
everything.
race.
I think she said it
like there was actually a montage on Tucker Carlson of her, like, saying, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's racism. He's racist. He's a racist. He's a racist. Oh, that's systemic racism. This is racism. That's racism. This is racism. Everything she was asked about, her only response was racism.
Yeah.
And that's our new press secretary.
Could you imagine if Kayleigh McEnany was just like married to somebody on Fox News?
I think that would go over horribly.
Yeah, you think?
And she would
think there wouldn't be.
She would be shamed into resigning.
Every goddamn other news channel would be on this. That hey, this is a conflict of interest. She's whatever.
Okay, for one thing, Kevin, look. Obviously, you're uneducated.
Obviously,
probably borderline touched, but the difference is, and according to our new press secretary, Fox News is racist. So McEnany would have been married to a racist. And that's why it wouldn't be okay.
Shit. Forgot to put my dumb hat on again. I'll put it on.
It keeps sneaking back on.
Yeah. So there we go.
That's all.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so there's enough about that crap. The last thing I want to ask you about, Kevin, because there has been rumblings and mumblings about a possible COVID resurgence that unfortunately may poke its evil head.
Of course it is, because
around
I'm sure it is,
Election Day.
right?
Have you heard that? Have you heard
what
it?
the fuck's going to happen is this going to happen right around election time, to where all of a sudden we can have mail-in voting again.
Have you seen that movie 2,000 Mules yet or whatever?
Yeah, and I don't know.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I've read about it. I've kind of read quite a few articles about it.
I saw a trailer. I haven't seen it yet either.
It's not-
I'd be interested to watch it.
Basically, what it is it's not about illegal ballots. It's illegal practices. No, it's not about illegal ballots. Like, they can't.
Well, you don't know what those ballots were, Kevin. You don't know. You don't know.
No, but what it is
Don't know.
what it is. It's about states that don't have you can't ballot harvest, and people ballot harvested, and ballot harvested, and ballot harvested. So it's illegal practices in states of ballot harvesting, to where they.
That's not a legal practice. It's just flat out illegal.
No, it's not. In 31 states, it's not. But in the states that they did prove it in, a lot of the swing states, it is illegal.
That's what I'm saying, though. In those states where it was illegal, that's not illegal. It's like saying, well, murdering someone is like an illegal practice.
There's a lot of states that you can ballot harvest.
Yeah, they need to get rid of that.
But
I can kind of see, like, if we lived in an honest society, yeah, someone going and picking up the ballots from a senior citizen's home or something that they filled out and they voted on themselves, people that are cognitively. You're supposed to tell me the word that I'm trying to say, Kevin.
Yeah, I know you're.
Yeah, that. You probably said it wrong, too.
I probably did.
As long as they're, like, able to vote, cool. I mean, I can see the possible benefit of that. Maybe it should be a state representative. But
It's supposed to be a family member.
yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's just weird how it happened. And there was enough of it. I mean, and those are illegal votes, technically. But I don't know. It was interesting. But yeah, if this, I swear, if people like, if they try to say there's a COVID outbreak around the election to where we got to do all this mail-in balloting bullshit, it's going to be, people better wait the hell up. That's all I got to say. It's all I got to say on the matter, Kevin.
So, like, that 2,000 Mules movie, it's like a making a murderer thing. It's like you don't have enough information to definitely prove that something's wrong, but it gives you enough to think it is, but it could also be the other way. It's like,
well, it depends because
no definitive answer.
They do have definitive proof because of the video. You haven't seen the haven't seen the video, Kevin. It is a gotcha movie because they have geo-tracking that shows the same person stuffing ballots, and they watch them because you can only put in. Those are designed to where you can only put in one ballot at a time, so they can count them. And every single one of those ballots they turned in was illegal.
But they can't prove.
So then you can count out. You can count out the illegal ballots that were cast.
Though, they don't have video of one person going in the same night of one person.
Yes, they do.
No, they have one. Like, they have one person going shady shit, but they don't have one person going to two different boxes in the same night. They have different. No, they don't. No, they don't. They have geolocation.
Have you watched the movie, Kevin?
Yes, but no, they have geolocation. They don't have video proof of one person.
They do. I saw the video proof of the same guy coming back.
No, on different nights. But
it doesn't matter.
But he didn't go to.
It doesn't matter if it's the same night or a different night. If it's the same guy, it's illegal.
But you can't prove it's the same guy. He's just wearing. It doesn't have that much proof. Like, it's shitty recording.
Yeah,
like
that's a problem. Like, have you ever noticed we got these cheap ass cameras for the podcast, and they're pretty decent.
Yeah, they
Yet
record
every
1080p.
CCV camera that they use around.
How come my goddamn Ring
shit.
video can ring my Ring fucking video
quality
it goes 1080p
shit.
But every goddamn thing that has anything important, it's like fucking. It's like we're living in goddamn 1960 with a fucking
it's like
reel to reel recorder. It's
like that game with all the
8.
cube people. It's all like 8-bit. We refuse to record anything on sensitive security matters on anything higher than 8-bit.
Listen, I think there's some fishy shit going on, but there's no definitive proof. Not enough.
Well, and since
there's not enough to bring legal, like anybody's going to legally challenge it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they had geolocation on when Trump.
That's how they arrested all the people on January 6th, Kevin. Geolocation.
No, but I know. And geolocation was trying to be like Trump brought geolocation to Atlanta, like when he tried to, whatever, fight the vote count there. He brought geolocation, shit like that, but they wouldn't take it because you can't prove that somebody actually went to the mailbox because it only does within like 100 feet. So you can say somebody went by it, but you can't prove they
It's
actually went
called
to it.
circumstantial evidence.
Yeah, but the judge wouldn't fucking take the fucking case.
No judge would. That's why nobody believes in our election system anymore. Well, about half the country doesn't believe in our election system anymore. That's why, if they were so sure that this was that was the most secure election that ever happened, they should have just done the audits and been like, "Fine, we did it. See, you're stupid. Everything's cool. Everybody would have been fine." But whatever. We got to wrap this up. But
so I'll let you
this
know,
is going to be
if
our.
you can't find us on YouTube, you can find us on Rumble.
We didn't say anything that was bad. But yeah, we always back everything up to Rumble. But this will be our first and only conspiracy theory episode. All of our other ones, which we will be having one on the election, and other things, sensitive materials like that in conspiracy theories will be behind the paywall on our locals account.
Yeah, basically we'll let you know in advance what we're doing, what it's on. It will be behind the paywall, so conspiracy theories, things that we think we're going to get kicked off of YouTube for, certain issues that we know that we will get kicked off of YouTube for, those things will be behind paywalls. So
at locals,
we'll let you know, but we'll always do an episode every week, free of charge. Just on your normal YouTube.
Yeah, the
podcast.
locals behind the paywall stuff will just be extra.
Yeah, it's just extra content. Probably won't be nearly an hour long, maybe.
Or it could be longer, depending on what we're talking about. But it'll be worth the money.
And we might do like live things, like where you guys can interact. If we get enough people on locals, to where you can ask us questions, interact with us.
Yeah, we are thinking of actually like potentially. Obviously, we pre-record the podcast, but what we're thinking of doing is when we do the pre-record, broadcasting it live behind the paywall on locals so that listeners can interact, ask questions, and I don't know how all this stuff works, possibly call in, but those are plans that are in action. But I don't know.
So we're just going to try to experiment some stuff, see what happens. We do, need some money, keep this podcast going. Well, not really. I mean, we got everything, so. But we'd like to recoup what we spent into it at least.
That's right. We're not asking for much.
Yeah.
But we're not going anywhere because right now, this is fun.
I also let you know that every so often we'll be dropping reviews on certain products or people, I guess.
Yeah, there is no rhyme or reason to when and if we're going to drop those that are just like, hey, I'm going to do a random review on something.
Yeah, so I just did a review today. It's a special review to my heart. Don't
say what it is, Kevin. Don't say what it is. It's hilarious.
No, I won't. It's just something I really love. Probably more than anything in the world. So we'll be dropping that soon. Probably
that'll be coming out next week.
Is out. Yeah, so sometime next week. Josh, I did my beer review. Josh did a steak review, and they were both awesome. You should check those out if you haven't. And I think that's it.
All right, I would agree. All right, America. Until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Flat Earth Kevin.
And this was the Lost Art of Common Sense. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Common sense!
Common sense!
Common sense is not Flat Earth!